Welcome to the Grants Portal How-To videos, presented by FEMA's Public Assistance Training section. Today's video will go over how to respond to a Streamlined Project Application revision request for information. Once you've submitted your Streamlined Project Application, it can get routed a couple different ways. It will eventually end up at the CRC. The CRC will validate all information provided. However, if they have any questions or need for additional information, they may issue an RFI, either standard or revision. On the grants manager side of things, they would go up to Options, Create SPA Revision RFI. Clicking on that, a pop-up comes up that lets them know they're creating an RFI specific for the Streamlined Project Application. And they'll have to pick an RFI deadline, generally 2 weeks from the creation of the RFI, and put in any additional information as needed. Once that's done, they'll hit Create. On this new page, Request for Information, the CRC specialist will be able to add the forms that require modification. They do so by hitting over here on the Add Form for Modification button, and then clicking from the form. These are the different sections and schedules that you filled out based off your specific needs in your Streamlined Project Application. If something in Schedule C needs to be changed, it gets clicked on, and then they put in additional information. And then save. Once that's done, they can send to management review. Click it again. Right now, the Streamlined Project Application Revision RFI is pending management review. At this stage, the CRC specialist supervisor can manage as needed. And then right now they have the option to send it to applicant response, depending on the setup of your event, and that's based off of recipient and field leadership decisions. It will either go straight to you, the applicant, or the FEMA staff who are currently working the disaster. Once they hit the Send to Applicant Response button, they'll confirm it, and we can now see this RFI is pending applicant response. You as the applicant will receive an email that looks similar to this, where it's letting you know that a request for information has been issued. This is a generic mockup, but look for something similar to this. It will come from support.pagrants@fema.gov. You, the applicant, will also receive a task bell that corresponds with that email. Once you're logged in, the task bell should be in the upper right-hand corner. You can click on the task bell, and you can see right now I currently have the task for applicant to provide SPA revision RFI response. However, because we know that there are sometimes multiple people in an organization who work in Grants Portal, and that sometimes not all of them get the RFI task bell, I'm going to show you how you can track RFIs via a tile on your dashboard. Under My Organization on the left-hand navigation side, go down to Projects. I currently only have one project. However, I don't know if this project is the project with an RFI or not. Depending on how many events you've requested public assistance for, or how many projects within those events you have, you might have more options. Click Filters, go down to Has RFI, select Has Active RFI, click Apply Selected, and then finally go up and click Run Query. If I scroll down, I now know that this project has an active RFI. So I want to make sure this is something that I see every time I log in, just in case I don't get that task bell. So I'm going to scroll up. Next to Run Query is a drop-down, and I'm going to hit Save Filtered List. I have to give my list a new name, so it's Projects with RFI, and then hit Save. Now that I've saved that list, I can make it into a tile. So I'm going to come up and click the gold star. Once it fills in and I get this green success box, I can go back to my dashboard and see that I currently have one project with RFI. This is going to show you all projects with RFIs regardless if they're streamlined or not. However, you can click on it and drop down filters again, and then go to this policy issue filter option. You can use it as a keyword search instead of scrolling. I can add the policy issue Streamlined Project Application. Doing that will narrow it down to just streamlined projects. If you want to save this, you would follow the same steps of running query, saving it, and then giving it a star. It's however you want to track your projects. However, I'm going to follow my task bell. So I'm going to come up to my bell, click it again, and then come over here and click Review. We can tell from the top that I'm currently in the Request for Information. If we go down, next we have our breadcrumbs, or our file path, that lets us know exactly where we're at. Grants Portal does a great job of always letting you know where you're at. Next, we have this yellow banner. The yellow banner is letting us know that the Streamlined Project Application Revision RFI is pending applicant response. It's telling me to please review the requested modifications to the Streamlined Project Application and complete the revisions where applicable. Under that, I have two hyperlinks, which are View Forms Requiring Modification and View Streamlined Project Application. Clicking the second one, Viewing the Streamlined Project Application, takes me down to this tab, where it lets me know all of the information I've currently added. On the Revision History tab, you'll see any revisions related to this current request. If your PDMG answered the RFI and certified before sending to you, or if your recipient changes it during their verification review and recertifies, it will all be tracked here. If I scroll back up, I can click on that first hyperlink, which is View Forms Requiring Modification. Clicking on that brings me to another tab, and it's just telling me that Schedule C is missing timesheets to validate cost claim. This RFI right now is just telling me that this is the information. To actually act upon it and upload the information as needed, I need to come down to that first tab we looked at, which is the Streamlined Project Application, and click this button, Continue Streamlined Project Application. You should be familiar with the page that clicking that button brings you to, as this is the summary page for completing the whole Streamlined Project application. If I scroll down, I can see right now that my Schedule C is listed as in progress. All of my other sections and surveys are listed as completed, but I still do have the option to view or edit. With the Streamlined Project Application Revision RFIs, you have the option to edit any information that was added, not just the information in the scheduler survey that the RFI was issued for. To answer it, you go ahead and you just hit continue. The only difference you're going to see when completing Schedule C during RFI versus during the creation of the Streamlined Project Application is this big red banner. This red banner is letting you know that this has been sent back for modification. You do have that blue hyperlink where if you click on that hyperlink, it's going to take you back to that RFI page we were just looking at. Otherwise, you complete the Schedule C as you did before by just following through on the progress bar. So you change any questions as needed. My specific issue here in this demonstration RFI was issues with the timesheets. So I'm going to hit proceed and scroll down. And my information is still accurate here. However, after reviewing my scenario, I realized I didn't fill out my Force Account Equipment Summer Street well. So I'm going to click on that. I would make any edits and changes as needed. Save it, go back into my project application, and that to me completed the information that I needed to change. So I'm going to go ahead, hit proceed. I still have that red banner letting me know that I am making revisions based on the RFI. I'm not changing anything here. I'll hit proceed again. Scroll down. All of the documents that I had previously uploaded to validate my claim are still there. However, I just filled out an additional form, so I'm going to upload that and hope that it answers the questions that prompted the RFI revision. So I'm going to upload the document the same way. I'm actually going to upload it to the same area that the rented equipment estimates is and hit add document. While there is already a document there, I know that I can add as many documents as needed. So I'm going to click inside the dotted box. I could also pull the document and drop it into there. I'm going to find the document on my computer, click it, and click open. For me, I'm going to come over here and hit edit so that in the description I can type in RFI response so that I know why I uploaded this document, and it can make it easier for people in the system to find. Hit Save, scroll down, and hit Attach Selected. Once that's good, I'm going to click Proceed. I'm brought to my summary. If I scroll down, can review everything and hit Done with Schedule C. And then go to Summary. If I scroll, I now see Schedule C is completed. What I would need to do now is hit Review and Submit again. If I needed to at any point, I could go ahead and change any additional information if I thought that would also help clarify the RFI and help my project application continue on through the system. However, I'm good with as it is, so I'm going to click Review and Submit. I have to review my whole application, so I'm going to scroll down. All of this information is still true, as all I did was upload the additional document. I didn't have to change any information, but if I did, I could see that here. That's correct, so I'm going to hit Proceed. I have to continue with my acknowledgments and certifications as I had to do submitting the Streamlined Project Application previously. I did not have a consultant prepare this project application for me. I will click to sign for my environmental and historic preservation compliance acknowledgments and my document requirement acknowledgments. Enter my name and the password I used to sign in with. And then click Sign. Continuing, I move on to applicant certifications. There's the general certifications, the cost certifications, and then the certifications that benefits will not be duplicated. I'll answer the question and then click to sign again, following the same steps. Okay. And then finally, I have to give my project application signature, which again follows the same steps as signing the previous 2 times. Once that's done, I can submit project application. Since this was done in response to an RFI, I have go to project RFI versus if I had submitted this for the first time, it would just say go to project. So I'm going to go to project RFI. Now that I have modified my Streamlined Project Application, if I scroll down, I can go to Streamlined Project Application, End of Revision History, and if you look to the right, you can see who completed it and when they completed it. If I need to, if I realize I made a mistake, I can actually go back and click Modify Project Application again if I realize I can provide additional information. Once all of that's done, the RFI should be satisfied. Click the Send for Specialist Verification button. This step might change depending on how your event is set up. Just like before the RFI comes to you, this also might go to field leadership or to a recipient, depending on how it's set up. Regardless, you, the applicant, will come up to the top of the Request for Information page and click the blue button that says Send. This one specifically will be sending for specialist verification. I can put a comment if needed. Otherwise, I'm going to just hit Send for Specialist Verification again. On the grants manager side of things, again, depending on how this was routed, it will eventually end up back at the CRC. If the CRC specialist is satisfied with the information provided, they will close the RFI. Once that is done, the CRC can continue working on your project and sending it through the system. The Department of Homeland Security's Office of Inspector General is used to report corruption, waste, fraud, abuse, mismanagement, and misconduct. They can be reached by phone at 1-800-323-8603 or by mail at the address listed. Additional information regarding federal procurement and contracting requirements from the 2 CFR Part 200 is provided by the Procurement Disaster Assistant Team at fema.gov/grants/procurement. Technical support is available via the Public Assistance Grants Manager Grants Portal hotline. They can be reached by phone at 866-337-8448 or by email at fema-recovery-pa-grants@fema.dhs.gov. More videos are available on our YouTube channel by searching FEMA Grants Portal on youtube.com. Thank you for watching.